Hi, welcome back. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Today I'm going to make another Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Morpher. Now, the first one I made was very basic. Looked just like this. You can pop the coin in and out with the Velcro. The second one I made had a handle, so you could hold it, and it had indented letters and the top's a little bit raised. Now today what I'm going to try and make is a Morpher where these parts are closed and then they open up. Those top parts are closed, and then you flip a switch and they pop open. I'm going to call this one my Master Morpher. So let's get started. Since this Morpher has some moving parts, I had to do a bit more planning, so I diagrammed everything out. That's a diagram of the moving parts. It's 5 inches wide and then 3 1/4 inches tall, and then the hole in the middle is 2 inches in diameter. So I'm going to go ahead and sketch that out here on 1x12 pine. And before I cut anything out, I'm going to put some of the designs on here, like my punched in letters and some of the other cut lines I need to cut this in half. First, I'm going to start drilling out that hole in the middle with a 2-inch bit. Now, I ended up being slightly off center with this, so some of my letters on power got cut off. You can kind of see that there. But the coin still fits. Now that it's cut out, I want that design section to be a little bit raised up, so I'm using a file here to file away the wood around that design. Now I need to sketch out and cut out my next section. This will be the section where those two top pieces slide up and down on. This piece will also have the Velcro where the coin sticks in. In order for this to move, I need to have those two top pieces slide on that layer behind it. And so to do that, I'm cutting out these little L pieces and smoothing them out, and then those are going to get glued down to the top pieces, one on each side for each piece, so I need 4 in total. And then once I have those all cut out, they'll, like I said, they'll glue on, and then those brackets will kind of hug the front piece to the back piece, and that way it'll be able to slide up and down. And then I just got to figure out a way to make it pop. I also need to put stoppers on this section here to make sure that they just don't slide off, right? They all have to stay on like it's one piece. So these lines you see here, I'm going to put a piece of wood going across there, and that will be where the brackets hit and stop. Next up, I am going to paint. So I have my two front pieces and I'm going to paint these. So the outer parts are going to be silver, and then those like lightning bolt-esque things are black, and then the Rangers, I'm going to try and get that white, and power, the words, and then that circle that Power Rangers is in is going to be red, just like in all the other ones that I did. And then the inside edges is also going to be red, and the outside edges and back will be silver as well. And then as far as that next section where I have the Velcro, that's going to get spray painted all red. These long pieces here are going to be the stoppers that I spoke about. They're going to be glued here on the back. I also notched the stoppers because rubber bands are going to go on these, and I need a little groove for those rubber bands to go in so they hold in place. But it's just like this, that stopper is going to go on the top and also one on the bottom, and then when those pieces slide, they'll hit the stopper, and then they won't pop off of the Morpher, so it'll be, you know, one mechanism. Now that I have the first stopper glued down, I need to start sliding in my pieces. So I'm going to slide this on first, and then I'm going to fit my rubber bands around those brackets, And then I'm going to slide in the next piece as well, because basically both pieces are trapped in between those two stoppers. So once I get the second piece in there, I'm gluing down the second stopper. While everything was drying, I took the rubber bands off, and now I'm putting them back on here, and I have some notches in my stoppers. The rubber bands I'm using are, I think they're called loom bands. They're made for, like, used for bracelets and necklaces and things like that, and they're small, and they stretch a bit, so I thought these would be good for my purposes, and it's something I had on hand. So now I'm just fitting those in. I'm putting the rubber bands around each of the brackets, twisting it, and then putting the other end around the stoppers. And now I need to create a latch mechanism so that way it can stay shut, and then you move the latch and it pops open. For the latch mechanism, I have a shim that I'm cutting down to thin strips, because I realized with the way I have the rubber band mechanism, the only way to latch it is to latch it in the middle. So in order to do that, I need to put these small shim pieces as cross pieces across my L brackets, and then do a latch directly in the center of them. So having it like this, I can pinch those bars going across, pinch it closed, and latch it in the middle. While those pieces dry, I got to sketch out and cut out the piece for my handle and get the hinges attached and all that. You've seen that before in the last Morpher video I did that had the handle. The only difference between this one is that I need a larger hole in that handle, because when that handle is flipped up, I need there to be space for your finger to be able to latch the latch. So that's why you see here the wood on that top piece of the handle doesn't go all the way down, and we have that hole. Alright, now it's time to create the latch. So I'm pinching the top and bottom piece closed, and I'm measuring what that space is, cutting it off of a thin piece of shim, and then I'm going to use a thin dowel so that way it can swing back and forth. I'm going to drill a hole in both of those cross pieces and stick dowels in there, and then the dowel will also attach to the latch, and then the bottom part of the latch will be a hook that will go on the bottom dowel. My latch system is now complete. So with those cross bars, they can be pinched closed, and then the latch keeps them down. And then with your finger, you'll have to kind of slide that latch, and that will pop open the top half, and the bottom half, the rubber bands will pull. I now need to get the handle piece on here. So the handle piece is going to glue to that top stop bar that I have on there. But we need some more support for the handle, because gluing it there isn't enough. So I'm going to have to put some small pieces to the left and to the right of that latch, making sure it doesn't interfere with the action that the handle part can also glue down to. So I've got to glue down some pieces in between there next to the latches, and then the handle will glue on top of those extra support pieces and the crossbar. But before I glue down that handle, I have to finish painting. So I'm painting everything on the inside here silver, and then I'm also going to spray paint the handle silver, and then all my painting will be done, and I can glue the handle on. We're done. This is the view from the back. You see the latch and the hook. When we hold it open, we slide our thumb or one of our fingers, and it pops it open. We get good action with those rubber bands, and then just slide that hook back on to keep it closed in place. Alright, so we are all done with the Morpher. It looks like this. It's all closed up right now. We have the indented letters. Did mess up a little bit on when I drilled out the center hole here, so you see some of them got cut off, but it's still okay. The front part here is also raised. I can feel it. A little hard to see on the camera, but it is raised. On the sides, this is what it looks like. It is open to show you the moving parts. And we have the handle. The handle's a bit flimsy on this one. It's not as stiff as I'd like, so if I'm holding it, the weight of this brings it down. So I'm wondering if there's a way that I can stiffen that up or not, but this is what we got. So all that's left now is to test this out. It's morphin' time! I think that worked pretty well. And close it back up. I pinch them. I move my latch here over the dowel, and then it's closed up again. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's something else you'd like me to make.